morning, Patreon guys. Hopefully these videos are useful and you're making use of these levels. So the thing with the dollar Swiss is that we've got MS3 at 94.48 and we are teetering on it now, and you'll find that dollar yen is also teetering on its support as well. We are a sell on the dollar Swiss, so technically we're a bit overdone, but we could probably fall because we're quite skewed to the downside. So we could potentially be getting across here where these are the buyers. They're currently they bought here at this dip, but it looks like we might be getting like an interchange here potentially. You can see how they've gone long on their ratios. They went long up here, and of course we broke monthly pivot, but they continued to go long, and they added long and they added long. So currently quite sideways on the ratios, but keep an eye on your MS3 level. Let's look at the dollar yen, and there's MS2, 139.66. It looks like it's looking for direction. It might be trying to ensnare some retail guys potentially. The SLC below is larger. It might want to wait for that to get a little bit larger maybe, and then it can fall. Bearish below that support, and likewise we might be getting interchange here. These are H4 candles. Yesterday was very sideways, so we could potentially be sending another sideways day. We've got jobs data later from the US. We could potentially be doing this. We can drift while waiting for those stop loss clusters to get a bit larger. And we are buying the big picture. Let's look at Aussie because it's our trade of the day. And there's your resistance line. So 67.48. I think we're going to scratch this idea with a loss if we breach this, and especially if we get a candle above that line. Okay, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just a little bit of a mismatch between what's happening on the dollar bubble and what's happening at the big picture. This is the FX SSI, and it measures all these sentiment providers. We're only looking at my FX book on our spreadsheet, but this takes into account Dukas Copy, Aranda IG, Forex Factory, SSI, and FX Blue. So it takes into account all of those sentiment providers, where we're just looking at my FX book on the spreadsheet. So it's a good idea to get these indicators because it gives you a big eagle eye view. We are buy at the big picture, however they are going long on their ratios. See how they're trying to buy, and we've got that strong resistance overhead, and we've got a huge stop loss cluster below. So we might be wanting to buy at that liquidity. We could put buy orders there. So we'll follow up tomorrow and see how we go with this. We could potentially be doing a drifting thing, but there's a lot of liquidity down here, which is a potential scenario where we're going to want to buy at that stop loss cluster probe. We might want to even maybe place buy orders down here at 66, and then we can rally. So that's of note. So we'll follow up tomorrow, and if a gun to my head, I'd probably say potentially I think we probably would have to come and get those stops. So I think potentially the trade day could be good, and then it would be a buy up round about here or at 66. Okay, and that's where you probably might want to place your buy orders and your TP. If you're short, you should probably target here 66.05. So that's a strong resistance. Okay, so, and obviously we need risk to sour for that. Euro and then pound, and there's the SLC 104.65, 102.56. That's going to be good support now. Was your resistance, and that's at 103.32. MR3 is at 105.69. Potentially scenario we could come up there. We are a buy at the big picture. They shorted it here. That's that CPI spike, and that caught them. They were unprepared with their terrible risk management, and they've held on to their losses since. So it's fairly sizable drawdown there. We've got an interchange here. We could be getting the buyers overtaking the sellers. And remember, this is the smart money as well. Okay, so bear that in mind. And then pound. I've been watching the pound quite a lot on my screen, on my second screen, because it's telling us, you know, the risk on, risk off nature, and this rallying, you know, is quite a good indication of a risk on. 119.43 and 118.30. We are a buy. They sold it here on that big spike, and you'll note that people on Twitter were quite bearish on the pound USD as well, and they were looking for shorts. So that was a good confluence, and so that's it. So no video for FXCM. Fingers crossed it loads. If not, we'll just have to make do. And we've got an error on the FXCM trading station, so fingers crossed it gets resolved. If not, we'll have to do some other analysis in the bulletin, and then you know, we'll just make do what we can. So stop loss cluster is getting probed on GU, and I guess probably the next one is here. Oh well, 1.2. It makes sense, doesn't it? Round number. There's some liquidity there. What you're doing is looking out for things that are spiking out. There's one not there even. God, that's crazy. 121. No, 122. See that node sticking out. So this is indicative of a weaker dollar as well. It's not necessarily pound strength, but it could be weak dollar. So if we're having a weak dollar, our trade of day might go a little bit awry. So yeah, I think so. We might break that. And if we do break it and we get a candle above, then that's going to be quite bullish, and we're going to come up and get those stops. And these ones might be safe. So be careful, and I'll be back tomorrow.